Dream Team's all right with me. Dream Team's all right. Oh, yeah. All right. I coach Destroy. This is the Warn Dog.
Coach of the Warn Dogs.
Calvin.
Coach of the Calvin.
And we're down here at the Star Bar in Lonnie. We're having a bit of grub to eat, couple of beers, talking about Dream Team. Basically, we're living the life down here, boys.
The best weekday you could ever have, I reckon.
Isn't it? Now, first things first. We need to find out how you boys went. We'll go around the grounds. Calvin.
King of the hill. Top of the tree. Champion. I am the LeBron James.
Yeah.
I am the man at the moment.
What? So you've really bounced back this week?
I had a decent score. It was all right for me. Jeez,
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
I had 2-1 and it was the first time I think I've cracked 2 this year. So
and you just did
well,
it
I'm
completely.
pretty confident, Roy.
Yeah, well done.
I'm pretty
Good job.
confident. You went all right.
Oh, well, not really in
It's
comparison to people, but compared to what I've been doing, yes, it was a step in the right direction.
Yep.
Small steps. I got about 2090,
Yep.
which moving in the right direction.
Unlike.
Well, unlike the person that's smugly been sitting over
Hasn't he?
there looking down on us
Yep.
like we shouldn't even be on the panel.
Yep. You know what he said to me the other day? He tweeted me and he goes, "Doesn't Roy look stupid in the green vest?"
Yeah, he would. He would.
And now look.
Explain yourself.
Well, it's going to happen if you're going to have these
Oh.
spastics that you make, well, me as the coach, making stupid decisions,
Yeah.
guys on the bench, guys on the ground,
Yeah.
making the wrong calls there,
Yep.
just guys that were awesome in the first 2 weeks and then decide to stink it up in the second
Yeah.
2 weeks. But anyway, that's where I am. 1967 was a pretty average score, and a lot of years ago, not in the 2000s like you blokes, and slipped a fair bit now. So
Now, how much is a fair bit?
Oh, down to 8,000 after being 300th or so overall.
That's disappointing,
so
isn't it?
That sucks because I was, within range and thinking, yep, well,
Got a good team.
I thought I was pretty good, but now, not good.
It's a good vest though.
Oh,
You
brilliant
do
vest.
look good in
the
it.
workwearhub.com.au green vest, they are our sponsors for that, and hopefully one of those blokes will have it next week. But you can purchase one if you would like to from the Workwear Hub website, so you can get on that. And Workwear Hub, they are great with competitions,
Mate,
Calvin.
they ran a smacker of a comp. It was about what Goddard would say at the end of his game last week. Now, he had a bit of a teary, got a little bit of emotional.
He
The
did.
dog was a little bit emotional after his game on
Yeah,
the weekend.
yeah.
Called me up. Anyway, you have to write in to what Goddard said. This is the guy. He said, "I've gone from schoolgirls to drugs. Am I a footy player or one of the Rolling Stones?" No, mate, you're the winner.
You are
Your
the
name
winner.
is Troy Hallam. Great job, mate. There are a pair of Mac boots. Not Mac
right.
boots, they're going to be Troy's boots. On the way.
Righty, so we are doing this special, not so live episode this week because it is the Anzac round, meaning that there's some games on Thursday, which is when we'd normally do our live show.
Yep.
So we've got to get organised for that. So what that is also, what is entailed with all of that is that we have this partial lockout again. We've all experienced those in the past, but there's some things that we must make sure that
This
we're on
one's
top of.
slightly different.
It is a bit because we've got 2 games on Anzac Day, so it's the traditional Essendon and Collingwood game, go you Bombers, and but then after that it'll be St Kilda and Sydney, and that's happening over in New Zealand. Now what happens though, all 4 teams there get locked away at the start of the Essendon and Collingwood game, so you have to make sure that those players are all in their right positions. That's with things like emergencies and where they are on your ground and
Yep.
captains and vice captains, and we might even get into
You
that
settle
later.
down over there, dog.
We'll get into that later, but yeah, make sure you're set with that. The full lockout will then be at 8:45 on Friday night. That's Eastern time because of the game over in WA. Some things to know about that. So once we get that first lockout, our reverse changes go. So my little Uncle Warn Dog piece of advice for you is before that game on Thursday, undo everything you've done this week. So hit that reverse changes and only do the trades that you need that actually affect the Thursday games. Okay?
Right.
Because
Good idea.
otherwise they're locked in there to go, because we won't know the teams before that starts, because that's normally at 6:30 on Thursday nights, knowing that. So that's my little piece of advice. The other thing, Calvin, is that we do have a bit of a captain's loophole. Arr.
Now, was that a great segue or was that encroaching on other people's turf?
Bit of both. Bit of both.
A bit of both. Look, geez, it's going to get complicated. Let's just talk about some wicked options though. Swanee, listen to his last 3 games against Essendon. 187, 171. They were both last year. And then in 2011, 171 again. Oh, mate, he's averaging 176 his last 3 against them. And Last year, of course, he got the Anzac Day medal for his 171, 42 touches.
So he should.
Oh my God, he's just going to beast it up. They can't tag him. They probably will run someone with him, but it's just going to be a waste of time. Another guy, of course, Pendles as well. Look, he has huge numbers, loves Anzac Day games. Last 2 Anzac Day games, 113, 166.
Oh, if you don't mind.
So he's got to be good. Look, another guy I love though. Another guy I love, Roy, he's your boy.
Oh,
Rocky.
yeah, boy.
Against Melbourne. Look, 119, 130 last year and just kills these dud teams. Best thing I love about Melbourne, when they lose, the top 5 opposition players on the other team have averaged 127, 134 and 113.
That's the kind of stat I love from an Irish pirate.
So do I. So if Rocky you think is going to be a top 5, scorer in the game,
sure thing.
he's got to be up around the 120, 130 mark. Maybe even more, Roy. But that's not the biggest issue.
Right. Oh, what is the big issue?
The biggest issue is,
talk about partial lockouts.
do we have a crack at the loophole?
I'm in two minds.
Bloody
at the
hell.
moment.
And look, Roy, I love a loophole, but I just don't know if you can do it. Firstly, the only thing that's going to stop Swanee from scoring massive is injury.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Agree.
Now, you can't click on your comma because he plays in that first lot of games as well. Could you put your C on, well, let's just quickly backtrack. So you could go vice captain on Swanee.
Yep.
Right? And then if he gets injured for a 20, then you could just pick someone else as your captain, right?
Yep.
But if he pumps out a 180, which he will, according to my bit of green paper here, you've got him as the vice captain. So you need to get a captain on the ground who's got to score 0. But who have you got? You can't have comma. Would you put it on Curry?
Well, he might get a call up.
He might get a
And
call
we
up.
don't know that
You
beforehand.
never know. And is that like the last game on Sunday
I think it
too?
is.
Yep.
Now, if he gets the call up,
Oh my
he's your
goodness.
captain. What the hell are you doing? What are you going to do? Probably the most reliable one is a Patton.
Yep.
If you're still sitting a Patton, he definitely won't play. And the other one there is maybe Kane Mitchell, if you've still got him.
Yep.
Pierce Hanley.
Yeah, look, there's a few
yeah.
options.
He'd be an option for people.
So anyone that's playing or should be playing on the weekend, you can use if you know that they're definitely not playing. That's the thing.
You don't want Swanee to have a 180 as a vice captaincy and then you just can't get to it. It would be the most devastating weekend of your life.
A lot of people are talking up, because with these added trades as well, if you've had a decent run with injury,
Oh.
you would have everyone playing.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are happy because they've got their full squad. Loophole is just completely out of the question for them, isn't it?
Oh, look, unless you trade in someone who's not playing.
Wouldn't that be interesting?
It would be very interesting. Could be done.
You can do it.
But the other thing is, if you're doing that in your midfield, then you've got no cover.
That's what concerns me.
That's an issue as well. So Rucks is your safest area to do it on the condition that you're not going to use Curry. Goldstein, not great last week.
No.
And what? Curry surely won't get.
He won't. And Goldie is their walk-up. He still had
There's
40
that
hit-outs,
issue.
but you'd just be worried.
I might start a couple of Twitter rumours about players. that
Well,
might-
you wouldn't be the first to
might
bloody do it.
play.
Well, do you know what? This is the in thing at the moment. You start up a new fantasy Twitter account. You shit yourself that one of your players is going to be either getting a vest or might be injured.
Yep.
So you put it out there
tell the
like you've
world.
got some sort of source, like there is some sort of substance to your
Tomato.
pathetic story. I hate it.
That's just rubbish.
It is.
All right, so yeah, I don't know. Roy, what are we doing this week with our teams?
Okay, there's lots of things. Obviously, on the radar, we're downgrading to a couple of rookies. Mays has looked amazing.
Yep.
That wasn't supposed to sound the same.
Yes, it
But
was.
He
He's been
also
practicing
plays.
it.
He also plays Melbourne this week, so I think you can be confident putting him on the ground for an 80 or 90.
Yep.
Evans is the other one. I think I like Mays a lot more than him.
Agree.
He had that massive last quarter, which obviously that's a huge tick, but it was against Melbourne, etc. But those two, great,
And there's
great
a 50
rookie options.
grand price difference
There
there,
is.
which might
Yeah.
sway people
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah, definitely.
So-
Depending on whether you really want one of them on your ground or need one on your ground, that will weigh heavily
Yep.
on that decision. I've got a couple of people that I like as upgrade trades to look at.
Yep.
Grant Birchall,
Yeah.
he's been bloody amazing
Just
back
awesome.
there. He's like a premium mid. His
Did you
break
know-
even's 55, so
That's
you've got to
huge.
get on him. You've got to get on him quick, otherwise he's going
Almost
to be.
feels like it's too late already.
I know,
Yeah,
but,
that's still going
that's the
up.
thing. He's
Yeah.
he's still priced at only 518. He'll be 600 soon. How long till he starts getting a tag on him? One of
This
those-
week, Roy. this week. Do you know he hasn't scored 100 on the Roos in his last 10?
Yeah, and then he plays Adelaide, I think, off the top of my head, and he's bad there, and Sydney. He's got 3 traditionally bad games. He is a new player at the moment, but he's got these 3 shocking games, and then he's got some really good ones after that. I love him. If I could get him in, I would. The other one I want you to look at, Travis Cloke has a break-even of 2
He's
this
a monster.
week. He's smashed out 2 massive scores in a row. He's almost a little forward cash cow with that break-even.
Yeah, definitely.
So he'll go up 50k this week. Keep your eye on him. Interesting stats, interesting history versus Essendon. He has some thumping games against Essendon if he's on song. So
get him in.
Yeah, keep an eye on that. I also like the look of Scott Selwood, who has gone bang bang the last 2 weeks. He's got a break even of only 48. So I like the look of them for upgrade trades. Personally, my team, I'll get Mays in for someone. It'll either be Comma or Mitchell, depending if I want to chase that loophole or not. So that's a tough call. Apart from that, I don't know what else I'll do.
You can make that decision on Friday.
Yeah, that's a decision you can make if you need to think about whether you need to do it or not. Bloody hell.
So so I can do that. At the moment, that's where I'm at. I could even downgrade both of those to those 2 rookies I spoke about.
Just cash up.
You can't obviously trade Comma.
No, but you'd have to do that this week beforehand.
I'm just taking Swanee's 180.
Yeah, so.
Why wouldn't you? But that's what I'm doing. What are you doing, Vote?
Well, geez, I don't bloody know, Roy. You've just thrown it all in the mix for me.
Yeah.
I do like Cloak. I've got Matthew Wright, and I've been looking to get rid of him now. He plays a bit more of a tagging role. I don't like that. So I'll be looking at probably getting in a Cloak and then dumping one of my rookies for either Mays or Evans.
Yeah.
So, I'm not sold on Evans 111. He had 60 in the last quarter. Okay. Fluke. But yeah, he's got to be good, and he's got to make a lot of cash in the next 2 weeks. Dog.
Yeah, well, I think I'll probably be bringing in Mays as one of my guys, but I've got the cash there, and I think I might bite the bullet this week. I could still make some more cash, but I'm going to get in Gary Ablett back, and that'll be for Jack Viney, and hopefully I can get maybe somewhere near you blokes who score.
Well,
so
get Ablett back in your team. It's a start.
Please, I'm feeling pretty confident I can get back in that green vest next week where I should be.
Good. Tweedly-deedly deet, it is Twitter time, because it is, well, people want to know things to do for their teams.
Of course they do.
So we had heaps and heaps of tweets too at Ask DT Talk. Cool. So make sure you're on us on Twitter as well, but let's get straight into it. Matt wants to know, who should be the first Port defender rookie to downgrade or upgrade? Stevenson, Heath or Pittard? A lot of us have all 3. Which one do you reckon will be the first one?
You go, Roy.
I've been very reactionary with all of these guys, and I have managed to put the worst one on the ground every week. So once again, I'm going to be reactionary. I think Stevenson had the worst score last week.
He's got the biggest break even out of them, I think, at the moment.
Oh, well, yep, there's your answer.
That's a no-brainer.
Yep, get him out.
All right, Tom wants to know, who gets the gig as your defender 6 then this week? So Pittard, Stevenson or Turlich? Which guy do you think gets that gig?
I'd still be going with Turlich. I still think Turlich has been a bit more of a proven campaign as far as his scores. Like Pittard, you got to have what he had 28 2 weeks ago, and then he has a 90 something.
But then do you look at ceiling?
I know.
I look at what he can score.
I
look at consistency.
I flip around. I go, right, I've stuffed this up. I'm going with the rule. Going with average this week.
Yeah.
That ends up sucking. Okay, I'm going with ceiling. I don't know. Turlich for your safe one, I think you're saying.
Consistency.
Pittard has a potential to score more. I'm going Pittard there.
All right, yep. I think I would put Pittard on there as well. Number 3 question here comes from Nick. Is it preferable to start upgrading this week, or is double downgrading the way to go? Now, we're all sort of mixed in that with what we're doing. So what do we think? I
think you take what you can get. Like, if there's guys there to grab, which they are, depending on who you've got in your team, for me, I can grab those guys this week because I don't really have enough money in the bank to do anything like significant with it.
Yeah.
So I think you sort of grab these rookies as they come through when you can to get the cash.
I would love to be able to be in a position to grab some cash here. The 2 guys that I've got, the suspended guy and the guy back on the rookie list, sitting on the bench, it's not going to make any instant money, which it sort of takes the appeal away from it for me. If I had a bit of cash to be made there, I would definitely do the double downgrade. Not sure what I'll do. Definitely get one of them.
Definitely.
So this is a good follow-up question there from Dylan. Is round 7 a good time to start upgrading? If not, should I start before or after round 7? So this is round 5. Round 7's traditionally what a lot of people would call where we start doing that stuff, because that's when our cows have, got to a bit of a break-even peak, or made some good cash, and we might even see some more guys coming through. So should we start doing it now, then, or later, or how are your feelings at the moment?
Keep an eye on the break-evens. I think you just got to play it sort of round to round. Watch their break-evens, dump them when they're at their prime. You don't want cash cows to start bleeding. So when they get to their peak,
definitely.
Send them to the slaughter.
Some of them, it might. I think a key to winning this year or improving your rank is going to be pulling the gun a little bit early on a rookie because someone else is within range. One that we should all be looking at is obviously Dale Thomas, who copped the green vest last week. I think his break-even sitting at about 177.
It's big, yeah.
So, give him 2 or 3 weeks and he is just going to be there.
Prime for the picking.
Yeah, prime for the picking.
All right, this one here comes from Greg. Comma or Viney out to Evans or Mays? So basically, which one are you going to choose to trade out and which one should you bring in? So let's do the easy one, because Evans or Mays, we're all pretty confident on Mays being the pick there.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. So Comma or Viney, who would you get rid of?
I'm going to say Viney, just based on the fact that he had that poor score. He's got to carry that for another 3 weeks. So, but at the same time, of course, Comma, he's still a couple of weeks away as well. So that made no sense.
Yeah, well, I'm probably... Viney's going to get picked to play this week, assuming. Comma is not playing this week. So I'm saying get rid of Comma.
But you could also... No, you can't. Play on, dog.
All right, let's go into the next one. Peter would like to know, Maloney's break-even is marginal this week. Should we keep, upgrade or downgrade to someone on the bubble there? So do we keep him, do we upgrade him, or do we downgrade him? Calvin, you've got Maloney.
Maloney. I've got Maloney. Now, his break-even was about 70.
It is 73, actually.
73. Now, he plays Melbourne. God, he's got to get 73. I think you keep him for another week. Definitely. I am, anyway.
I would take my 57,000 or so that he's made and run. He looked disgusting on the weekend. He was a disgrace.
And a little bit like you're talking about with Viney carrying that through. He's got to carry that through. So he's not going to make it.
What did he have?
50 odd, wasn't it?
No,
60 maybe.
66, I think.
But he's got to carry that through. Like, he's not going to make a huge amount of cash from here.
No, not
if he had
here.
had his 80s or 90s, he would be making a bit more money, obviously. So if you can upgrade to someone, I'd prefer to upgrade to someone, because you're probably going to get the same points from or less from downgrading. But if you can upgrade, I'd do it. And I could potentially do that this week.
I've just had a good think about this.
Go.
You're right. He plays Melbourne. Top 5 for Brisbane are going to average 120.
Yep.
He'll be one of them.
Yep.
Yeah, keep him for the week.
One more week. Just see how he goes.
That's the
Especially
answer.
against the easiest team. You might as well just ride it out for one more.
Witches hats.
All right, Mark's got this little puppy. He wants to know the best way to pick your rookies to play on the field, Roy. A method. He wants a method to be blamed instead of self-blaming.
Yes. And well done, because I have these methods on a weekly basis, and I've been doing it for 2 years. I am like a laughing stock at this. So I don't know.
Method.
Okay, hit me.
Write their names on each of your fingers and just go, it, dit, dog shit, you are not it. It, dit, dog shit, you are not it.
Well,
and to your left with one, and have a look who it says and put him on your
It
field.
couldn't be any worse than my
Done.
history. Lately I missed out on O'Meara 100, Wines 100, and then I thought, no, do your homework this week. I had a look at the 3 Port boys and Turlick in defence, and I had to work out who to put on the ground. I could not have got it more wrong if I tried. So
Go my method,
I don't
Roy.
know. I'm just going averages this week. That's my thing this week.
Okay.
I like ceiling. I like, what's their highest score that they've had? Let's go with that.
Good point.
Who's had the
Yeah,
biggest
I
score?
might try that one too.
Don't know,
I might
make up
mix
your
the
own.
2 up and just wreck it.
Use
all.
Calvin's. That's probably going to come out better
Exactly,
anyway.
exactly.
All right, so this one then comes from James. What do we do with Hanley, given his suspension and horrible draw? So he's out this week. He did hurt his knee apparently on the weekend, so could that mean he's out for a little bit longer? Do we trade him straight out, or do we hold on to him for a week? This is probably one of the few decisions we might have this year of holding a player.
You just go to Birch when there's an obvious one.
Yep. If you can get to Birch, you'd go and do that.
I'd probably incorporate a downgrade to either Evans or Mays and just make him Birch, and you're going to have a little bit of money in your bank as well.
Good call. Like these 1 week suspensions or injuries, I think if you've got nothing else that's pressing,
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
So you're-
and
Yeah.
this is their easiest game in the next month too.
Yeah.
Oh, well, obviously it's against Melbourne, but they've got some tough ones. So
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I would go to Birch.
All right, next one here comes from Sam. I think the big question on everyone's lips at the moment is Mays versus Evans. Personally, he's going Evans to get the money and then getting Gaz. So here's the thing. It's very much a horses for courses one.
Yeah.
We're all saying Mays. We said that before.
I think he's the better
Pick
player.
him.
Definitely.
But is that 50k valuable?
Well, do you know what? With ones like this, I don't look further than the relevant week.
Yeah.
If it gets you to someone this week,
Yeah, you're right.
I do
Spot
it.
on, Yeah.
Yeah. But otherwise, I'm picking the best player out of these.
Well,
two.
you're better to have 50, that extra 50k on Mays
If it means
to have
getting-
him
yeah.
rather than having it in your bank.
If it means getting you to Ablett, you do whatever you need to do to
Yeah,
get to Ablett.
yeah.
But otherwise,
It's got to be about getting a good premium straight up.
Definitely.
yeah.
All right, and the last question here comes from Aidan. When is Chopper making a comeback?
Oh,
Well, here it is right now.
Danes Orco, you incompetent prick! Talk about someone who likes to talk the talko and can't walk the walko. And while we're on these bad puns, someone's been eating lots of pies by the look of it and put on a bit of porko. Last year you averaged 95 points. This year 65, you incompetent fat bastard. Already this year you've dropped $69,000, and the only thing that makes that okay is that 20% of other coaches are in the same boat as me. So you, my friend, you better learn to go and get that footy, go get that pigskin, otherwise you will get the chop.
oh, best chop ever.
Wasn't it?
Actually, was it? It's
good to have him back.
Technically, did he actually chop him at the end, or was that a stern warning?
Look, it's like
Chop.
he's talked to him.
We've got 44 trades. Don't just half hack a person. You got to chop them fully.
Yeah, exactly.
Good to have him back though, the big guy.
Well, it was great to see
It
his
is.
plastic face again.
It was. It was.
Now,
I think
it
he's
is-
aged a little.
He has.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh man, it is time for us to say goodbye, but don't forget this round, very big to make sure you get everything right. Reverse those changes, only have the things that need to happen before Thursday so you can spend all day Friday doing stuff, otherwise things are set, and the teams will come out Thursday night and you'll get there and go, uh-oh, that stuffs me up. So anyway, that's my advice, but Calvin, you keep listening to you on Twitter, you'll talk to people about captains, I'm sure.
Don't ask me stupid questions about Loophole either. Just listen to what we just talked about.
Yeah.
Oh, the same stuff. Drives me nuts, Roy. I'm going to get more messages now.
Ask
All right.
plenty of dumb questions.
Good luck this week.
See ya.